that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose it, love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. Peace, peace, peace. I feel it, peace, 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 peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, joy. I feel it, joy, joy, joy. Every day it's joy, joy, joy. I'm choosing joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace, and I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace.
Good morning, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, and welcome to our Sunday service. I am so glad y'all are all here. Hello, hello. And for everybody online, joining us online, I'm so grateful that you are joining us as well. So, my name is Reverend Chris Ashley. I'm the senior minister here at Celebration Center. We are physically located in the Washington, D.C. area. However, we have this amazing, beautiful global community because of all of our live streaming and technology and all of the resources that are available to us. So I'm very grateful for everyone for being here. I am excited to say that today we have a guest practitioner on platform. My friend Chris Laeth is going to be joining us from Florida, from Naples, Florida, and he is actually a ministerial student at the Florida campus, and he runs Soul Evolution Collaborative with Reverend Ryan Pulley and Reverend Dan Granda, both of whom y'all have heard me talk about on multiple occasions. So I'm super excited that Chris is here. Let's give him a hand. And then in addition, we have our music director, Lynn Hollyfield, will be offering our music today. I'm super excited to have her here joining us. And Harrison Snow, our Leadership Council Vice President, is our greeter. So if you're here in person, you are greeted by that smiling through the mask face, Harrison, and I'm so grateful to him as well. So before we get too far, if you are here in the room, go ahead and silence your cell phones for me. No need to turn them off. You are more than welcome to, if you have a comment or something like that, put it in the chat on Facebook or YouTube, and let us know what you're thinking about, even while I'm talking. I promise I won't take it personally. And if you are on live stream, please feel free to chat in and say hi. Let us know you're here so that we can say hi back to you. I have a few announcements this morning. The first is that we are doing our welcome home gift boxes for the Afghanistan refugees who are flying into the DMV every day. And so these gift boxes are an opportunity for us to support these refugees in giving them the things that they need to build their homes here in Northern Virginia and in the DC area. And if you are here in the room, we have these papers over on the side table that you can take home that gives you all of the information of how to do that. If you are online, if you go to our website, celebrationcenter.org, you will be able to find all of the information and this document online as well. We also have a new workshop coming up on September 26th from 12:30 to 3:30 Eastern Time after the service. It's a Sunday afternoon, and it is Self-Care as Spiritual Practice. This is one of my favorite workshops that I offer. It is always such a good reminder to me of how important self-care is, and I am really looking forward to doing it. It's going to be hybrid, so you can either come be here in person, or you can Zoom in with us on our Zoom room and join that way. It's going to be a wonderful opportunity for us to come together and remember that self-care is indeed spiritual practice. And then finally, we are going to be starting our Committed Giving program next week, and we are kicking that off with our first annual Appreciation Picnic. And so everyone is invited to this picnic. You could have been coming for 30 years. You could have been coming for next week is your first time. We are so excited to do this. So if you would like to join us in person, we will be doing a picnic outside downstairs in the grass. So please bring your own food, chairs, whatever you need to be comfortable for the picnic. And we will be coming together to talk about what has been so amazing about 2021 and all of the people that have made this year so incredible, and also looking ahead a little bit into what 2022 is bringing us and what the vision is. So please join us for our appreciation picnic next Sunday, right after the service. That is September 12th. And finally, as we do every week, I would love for us to recite our vision together, because if we don't know our vision, we don't know where we're going, and we're all running off in different directions. And instead, when we say our vision together, it is an opportunity for us to remember where we're headed as a beloved community. So please say this aloud with me. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. And now I would like to invite Lynn up for an opening song.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. This is a song that is by Leah Morris, and it's called "Blow, Wind, Blow." Here we are in the wake of another sleepless night, another morning we hope would never come. From afar I can hear the echoes and the cries, lost daughters, lost brothers, and lost sons. It's a call to be patient, it's a call to be kind in the wake of life's mysteries. Blow, wind, blow, I won't stop hoping. Blow, wind, wide open. Here I am, so small. My hands are tiny things. What can I do to be a help at all? I have music, a kind word, $1 and a smile. I will give everything I am to keep us all from falling in the face of life's mysteries. Blow, wind, blow, oh no, I won't stop hoping. Blow, wind, blow, my heart wide open. Let me be the face of change I want to see. Let me be the hope somebody needs. When that old wind blows, no, I won't stop hoping. So blow, wind, wide open, oh, my heart, wide open.
Good morning, everybody. Of course, now my light goes out. That's really weird. We'll have to bring our own light this morning, apparently. All right, so my name is Chris Laif. Thank you, Reverend Chris, for having me here. Thank you, Celebration Center, for having me here. It's my pleasure to be here because this is what I do. I am a practitioner and a ministerial student, but as you know, you'll often hear so many ministers say that we are practitioners first, because that's a big part about what practitioners do. So this is the time of the day, the time of the service where we would like to welcome, all the returning faces. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here. But we'd also like to reach out and welcome all new faces. So if you're new and you're here in person, raise your hand up. We'll get you a welcome card that we can get to know a little bit about you. And if you're online joining us for the first time as well, please, leave a comment. Let us know this is your first time. Let us know where you're coming from. We want to know all about you. We appreciate you being here, and it's a wonderful community. So welcome. Now, as far as practitioners, what we are, what we do, we are people who have dedicated our lives to prayer, and prayer specifically as it's taught in the Science of Mind philosophy. And we have dedicated lots of time for education, several years of prerequisites, and then a couple years of practitioner training. And what we do is we know in consciousness, in the one mind, what you request of us to know. And that as we shift our consciousness and shift that helps shift the overall consciousness, which then turns into a related shift in our physical reality. So prayer requests are a powerful thing. So there's prayer requests that you can fill out online and in person. And we also offer short, little miracle moments at the end of service. If anybody's got anything in their life right now that they would like to experience differently, or maybe something that you would like to experience more of, all of that, feel free to connect with the practitioner, and we'll get you a quick tune-up prayer. And practitioners are also very good at helping in your personal lives. If you schedule a session with a practitioner, paid sessions are very powerful. We get to the root a little bit, and we take anything that you're concerned about, anything in your life that you would like to experience differently, and we explore that and work one-on-one with the client, with you, with anybody that would like to see and experience life in a different way. So practitioners are special people. I know I'm a little biased because I am one, but I've had wonderful work done through many practitioners. And so highly recommended that if you're not familiar and you haven't utilized the services of a practitioner, by all means, check us out. Now, so today, Reverend Chris offered me a couple minutes to do a quick power talk. And when she told me that we are reaching higher, my mind went into several places all at once. And I decided that 3 or 4 minutes or so just isn't going to be enough. So I'm going to have to take a lot more. I'm just kidding, because I know that doesn't work. But here's what came to me for reaching higher. Right away, I went to the metaphysical interpretation when we hear higher ground or going to the mount. When we see these phrases in the Bible, that it refers to the idea that we are going into our higher faculties, which is what we do when we go into prayer and meditation. And that took me to higher ground. It took me to Stevie Wonder and higher ground. I also really like the Red Hot Chili Peppers version, which is fantastic. And the idea of, people keep on learning, teachers keep on teaching, preachers keep on preaching, all that while the soldiers keep on warring, that the world is going on around us at all times, and we are in the world, and we need to continually do what we do. And this ties into there was 4 things that came to me real quickly. This ties into my idea of bringing the sacred to everything we do. Teachers, while you're teaching, or I spent many years waiting tables, and I brought the sacred to that. Once I learned and had a great, epiphany and realization that was my life, it became an honor. And so bringing that higher ground, that constant idea of being in our awareness that we are part of something so much bigger, that we are all connected. And so we can't give up. We can't lose focus. And that it is us as people, practitioners, participants, is they say, I'm a certified practitioner, but we are all practitioners. Everybody that adheres to this philosophy and utilizes it in their life, you are a practitioner. So as we go and practice going to that higher ground on a regular basis, and then remember that we can, from that awareness, as we go about our regular lives, bring that awareness with us, knowing that we are an arm, an extension of spirit. So all the great qualities that we believe spirit to be, we allow them to flow through us in all of our interactions with whatever we're doing all the time, as we're doing it in our jobs or as we're doing it in our hobbies, how we spend the bulk of our time with our families, always remembering that we are part of that higher thing, which took me to the fourth part of what all popped into my mind at once, which is my mission to be what I call, with my prayer partner, we call it PWC, pray, prayer without ceasing. And what that means is that we are always constantly bringing and keeping our awareness in this higher ground to just remember everybody I interact with is spirit looking right back at me. How would I treat spirit? How do I treat others? That is how I treat God. That is how I see God or spirit, the infinite source, whatever you want to call it. If you hold that as something sacred, then how we treat one another is essential of what we say spirit is and how we honestly feel about spirit. So that is my mission in life, is to bring the sacred to all I do, and to remember that all the time I have to bring my attention back to the idea that I am spirit showing up with spirit. And I say all the time because it's that idea of we shoot for the stars, maybe we'll hit the moon, because it's life. And nobody, at least nobody that I know, or at least certainly not myself, have ever been able to constantly be in that perfect, or that, I shouldn't say perfect, that higher state that I'm aiming for. But if I make it my intention to try, I just might get close. So that's where I went with higher ground. Now, if you're in alignment, let's go ahead and take this within, and we'll go into prayer. If you're comfortable with your eyes closed, feel free to close them, bringing our awareness to our breath in this moment right now. The breath is such a perfect reminder that there is only one life. There's only one breath that we all share. We are all part of that one breath. So as we take a conscious and intentional breath, we are bringing our awareness into a deeper place, that higher faculties where we can truly recognize that we are always within spirit, that spirit is always within us. There's no separation. There's nothing outside of spirit. All that exists is spirit, either in thought, in the physical form, or of course, just in the being that we all are. So I affirm right now that each and every person hearing these words is part of that spirit, that there is no separation. So as we speak these words, as we hold and listen to these words in our consciousness, in our mind, we are listening with the one mind. And so as we do that, we are creating reality all around us in powerful and very powerful ways. So I know that right now, this place within, that this is that higher ground. And that as we come together in our joined numbers, that we create a synergistic effect of truly sending out ripples of that vibration, that frequency of the higher ground, of reaching higher all the time, that this is a constant onward, upward movement that we are part of. And once we begin, and as we continue to be part of Centers for Spiritual Living, we are intentionally focusing and producing this upward spiral in bigger and better ways. So I know that right now, spirit is smiling. Spirit is moving through each and every one of us, maybe placing a gentle smile on your face at this moment, knowing that this time is blessed. This is a sacred time, a sacred service, and that everybody here connected is lifted up into that highest. There's golden white light just shining brightly for everyone. So I know that right now the audiovisual team is on point, that Reverend Chris's message is designed perfectly to reach every person in the perfect way that they are expecting, that every practitioner involved is ready to receive and know this highest truth for anyone that is seeking, that every volunteer that shows up and helps keep this service running, keeps this place flowing with the love and the attention and care that it needs, is lifted up into this higher space. That every person walking through the doors, everybody logging in online, all the people that were unable to make it today, anyone that's ever come through these doors, and anyone out there in the world who are seeking their own path, we recognize all paths that all lead to the same place because there is no other place to go. It all leads to spirit and to the knowing that we are spirit. From whence we came to where we go and to where we are, all in between. That's all that exists. We just send this love and blessing out throughout the world, knowing that we are blessed, that this time is blessed, the service is blessed. And truly, right now, as much as we can muster our energy and strength into it, sending out visions of love and peace and harmony across this world, that we are contributing to a collective shift, reaching us into a higher space right now. So knowing that love touches everyone around this world, I just say thank you, Spirit. Thank you for being here, opening up, knowing that this is the perfect time. So with that deep gratitude for each and every person here, for the law that makes this so, I say thank you. And I let these words go out there where I know they are not returned void, that they are always, that it is already that blueprint in spirit, and it is simply manifesting in our physical world and reality at this moment. So I let it go. And if you're in alignment with me, please join me as we say, and so it is. And now we have another song.
Called Diving. Diving in, diving into the unknown. We chose the seeds that we have sown. We walk with thoughts that we own, diving into the unknown. Diving in, diving into the unknown. Take a breath, watch what's been shown. Take a breath on this winding road, diving into the unknown. Stay open to knowing we are forever growing. The sacred mysteries unfolding to us all. Diving in, diving into the unknown. Listening, what do you hear? Listening, throw away your fear. Diving into the unknown. Climbing up to see all that's brought you here. Your mind is clear. Look within and dive in freely. Diving in, diving into the unknown. See clearly deep in the sea. See clearly who you want to be. Diving into the unknown. Stay open to knowing we are forever growing. The sacred mysteries unfolding to us all. Diving into the unknown. Diving in. Diving.
Thank you so much, Lynn. I appreciate songs that have ocean sort of themes of diving in and going deeper. That's a theme or an idea that I use a lot in my own mind to think about my spiritual practice and where I'm headed and things like that. So thank you. And thank you, Chris. That was wonderful as well. I love Chris in Soul Evolution Collaborative. He's always brilliant at bringing in the actual what can we do with this teaching, kind of physical, bring it out into the world. And so I appreciate how he brings that everywhere that he goes. So before I dive into my talk, I had an announcement, I guess. I don't know what it is. I had a thing that I wanted to share with y'all. It's so funny because y'all are my family, right? We are a beloved community, and y'all are my family, and I love y'all so much. And so I want to share my happiness and my joy with y'all. And so I wanted to let y'all know that I am in a relationship with another minister, which is very exciting. And some of y'all have met them. It's Reverend Ryan Pulley, and they were here about a month ago, just kind of hanging out in the back with Ivor. And so if you didn't have an opportunity to meet them, they are speaking in 2 weeks on Sunday morning. They'll be here. And obviously I'm a little biased, but they're awesome. So I invite you to come back and get to know them. They'll be around more in the future. And I wanted to share that. It's kind of like bringing your person home to your family is kind of how it felt like when I was like, how does this all work? So I wanted to share that news with y'all because I'm very happy about it, and I want y'all to know my happiness and my joy. And in the spirit of vulnerability and authenticity, which I talk about a lot as well. So, and I'm happy to answer any questions or anything like that. If you have them, come chat later. So, and also, in other news, I am technically speaking at 2 centers this morning. So, New Thought Northern Colorado Center for Spiritual Living, located in Loveland, Colorado, asked me to be their guest speaker this morning. And so I pre-recorded my talk for them because it was just not quite enough. I was going to have to... theirs starts right as ours ends, and it just feels like it was a little too close. And so I have already given a talk on reaching higher once, and I was kind of laughing because she said, well, you can just write one talk and give it twice. And I was like, I don't know that that's the way that's really going to work out. But I enjoyed recording for them on Friday, and so it gave me an opportunity to have even more thoughts about this topic, this reaching higher topic. So the place that I wanted to start is with an Ernest Holmes quote. And Ernest Holmes is our founder, if you don't know of him, and he really brought all of these different teachings and synthesized all of these religions and spiritual teachings and all of that and distilled it into what we call science of mind today. And what Ernest Holmes says is, he says, the reason no person has yet fully plumbed the depths of their own mind lies in the fact that their mind merges with the universal, and we can never encompass the infinite. Herein is the possibility of everlasting unfoldment, the glorious concept of an eternal emergence in ever-widening circles. There is no circle so great that another may not be drawn around it. The questions which are unanswered today will be answered tomorrow, and more questions will take their place, and they, in turn, will be answered. I love that quote. So one of the things that I think about often is that when we are talking about this thing that we call God, or we call Spirit, or we call universal presence, or Allah, or Abba, or whatever we call it, that it is infinite and eternal and absolute. And we use these words, and we don't really stop to think what that means. And yet Ernest is correct that we can never encompass the infinite. Not only that, but we can't even fathom the infinite because we're trying to use our conscious minds, which are finite. And we just can't grasp something that is that with what we're currently utilizing. And so I love this idea that, we're diving in and we're going to continue to be able to dive down and down and down into the depths of our own minds, and we'll never hit the bottom. There is no bottom because it's infinite. And so in this idea of reaching higher, this expansion up, there's also an expansion down or within. Ivor, will you put up the spiral picture again? So as y'all remember, we have this great spiral here on the screen. And I talked last week about spiral dynamics and about the fact that we're constantly evolving upward, and we're looking at things from our varying levels of consciousness as we move up the spiral. And I was talking to a congregant this week. You can take it down, Ivor. I was talking to a congregant this week, and she said, I always think about spiraling down. I never think about spiraling up. And I said, well, I never think about spiraling down. And it really just kind of opens my mind to this idea that I said last week, there is no higher or lower or better or worse or bigger or smaller. And yet we tend to, our finite minds like to have this idea that we're moving up. And yet that's not true. We are spiraling in all of the directions. We're spiraling up and down and to the sides and out and in and every which way. And so when I think about this idea of reaching higher, well, I can only reach as high as I'm willing to go within. Ken Wilber, who is he was one of the founders or people that came up with this idea of spiral dynamics. He says, you cannot have exterior development without interior development to hold it in place. And so as we spiral up, as we reach higher, it is important and necessary to ground down and to spiral down within to ourselves and to constantly be pluming into the depths of ourselves to reach those new heights that are within us. So Chris mentioned that he has waited tables throughout the years. I, too, have waited tables throughout the years. And there are a lot of opportunities to find the good and find the God in the challenge when you are waiting tables. A lot. And so I waited tables in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, and really, I was just finding New Thought, just finding it. And so I was still very much in this, and, as 18, your prefrontal cortex doesn't even develop till you're like 25. And so I was still very much in this reactive mode and very much of, I don't know how many of y'all have waited tables, but there's often a lot of back of house drama and who's dating who and who got invited to what party and all of that. So there's all of that going on, and then the kitchen staff is mad at the wait staff, and the busboy is not doing his job, and this and that and the other, right? And then on top of that, there's the drama with the tables, and so said this, and I didn't get her Dr. Pepper fast enough, and she asked for ranch dressing, and I brought her Caesar dressing, or whatever it may be. And if you aren't grounded in yourself, it's so easy to buy in. And so I was dabbling in New Thought teachings, right? I was dabbling, but for the most part, I bought in. For the most part, I was like fully enrolled in the drama. And so I got out of waiting tables, not because there's anything wrong with it, but just because I started working with special needs, and I was a teacher for a long time and worked with mainly autistic individuals, both children and adults. And then when I decided to start looking at moving to California, I decided that I wanted to get a job that would be easily transferable anywhere that I went. And what better job to get than waiting tables? And so I got another job, 3-4 years ago as a waitress. And I was like, this is going to be great. The great thing about waiting tables is that you know exactly where your consciousness is, because if it's not good, you won't make good tips, right? So I can just, it's going to be automatic feedback of where I'm at. And so I came back to waiting tables. And it was a very different experience in my early 30s, let me tell you. First of all, there was no buying into the back of house drama. I was like, oh, y'all. Oh, y'all. Like, and what's more is, as I was listening to all of this that's going on back there, I was able to not only stand firm in who I was, but by doing that, I was able to support others in not buying in quite so much. Because when we can be that grounded presence, when we can reach higher into something greater, we not only uplift ourselves, but we uplift everyone around us. It's automatic, it's inevitable, it's unavoidable. And so simply by showing up and standing in my own truth of knowing that none of that drama really mattered or affected me, I was also able to support others in maybe this isn't the end of the world. You know, maybe that table not getting cleared isn't the end of the world. And I also, yes, I was able to see immediately the fruits of my consciousness in the moment. And when I started to have a bad night and my tips started going down the drain, and all of a sudden maybe I was buying into the fact that that table yelled at me for no reason, I was able to stop and go to the bathroom. I have had hundreds of bathroom prayers, on-the-go bathroom prayers, and go to the bathroom and say, I know the truth. I know who I am, and I stand firm in that. And shift my consciousness and not allow one bad table or one bad tip or one bad moment to ruin the rest of my evening. And so when I think about this idea of reaching higher, it's not that we are striving out there to reach some outward goal, but instead it is this depth and this grounding into the truth, into the principle of knowing our own divinity and our own oneness that then allows us to expand out in every direction, regardless of what it is. And it's interesting as I'm thinking about, waiting tables in my 20s and then waiting tables a decade later in my 30s and how different that was, I realized that what I had needed to do was to shift my consciousness around who I am. Because I'm a waitress either way, I'm a server either way, right? And yet, showing up to those two things to that one thing in these two different ways means that it's not really about what I am in the world, but it's about who I am in the world and what I be in the world. Michael Bernard Beckwith says, you have to break your vow to mediocrity. And what was so interesting to me about that is my breaking my vow to mediocrity meant stepping what could have looked like a step backward in order to launch myself forward to be able to go to California and to be able to go to ministerial school and pursue my dreams. And now I'm here. And so I had to stand firm enough in myself that when my family, my birth family, not my chosen family, not my community, but my birth family or my friends said, why are you waiting tables again? What's up with that? I could say, well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with waiting tables, but also it is about who I am in the world and the way that I show up, and I am choosing to reach higher and break my vow to mediocrity. The biggest enemy to a great life is a good life. And my life has been good. My life was good in North Carolina before I moved to California. My life was good in California. My life is great here. And I had to be willing to let go of these varying levels of good to allow my great to come in. In Centers for Spiritual Living, our parent organization, we have a global vision that we are all, I talk about vision all the time, a global vision that we are all headed towards together. And one of the pieces of the global vision says, we see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other, a world in which individually and collectively we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. I love that. And what I love about that is we see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle. And what's beautiful about that is it's our own highest spiritual principle. I don't get to tell you what that means for you. I don't get to tell you that you're not on your right path, because looking from the outside in, I don't know. And instead, we get to stand firm. Each of us gets to stand firm in our own truth, and we each get to figure out, what is my highest principle? What is calling me? What is seeking to be expressed out into my life? And then we get to go do it. And it doesn't matter if it's big or if it's small. It doesn't have to be traveling halfway around the globe and saving lives. It can be that, but it can be as simple as showing up to the grocery store and deciding to smile despite the fact that we're wearing masks. Even that simple shift is creating and seeing that world in which each and every person is living in alignment. And by choosing to show up and to be in every single moment of our lives, just like Chris was talking about, it doesn't matter what we're doing, and yet we're choosing to show up to every moment of our lives with this idea of reaching higher. When we do that, we are living in alignment with our own highest spiritual principle. And we can do that in every moment, every day, regardless of what's going on around us, regardless of how other people are choosing to show up, regardless of what is going on out in the world. What we can do is we can choose to show up from our grounded place and reach higher. And when we do that repeatedly, over and over, we automatically uplift every single individual that we meet. Everyone. And that includes everybody who is here in this room. And when we get here, it increases exponentially, right? Because we're all doing it together. But it also works when we're out and about in our daily lives, when we're stopping at the grocery store, or when we're walking at the park, or when we're going to our jobs, or whatever it may be. We are uplifting everyone around us. Whenever I go on a road trip, and all the way across the country, I have this prayer that I pray, and I say, there's a golden ball of protection that is surrounding me and my car, that is blessing me on the road, and that keeps me safe and protected. And then I say, and this golden ball of protection extends out 100 miles in every direction from my car. And so as I move across the country, or as I move to my next destination, everyone else is blessed, and everyone else on the road is safe. And that is the power of our consciousness. That is the power that we hold and that we wield when we choose to reach higher in every single aspect of our lives. And so I invite you, the question that I have for you today, and I'm going to actually have you answer this question if you are here in the room for our Tell Us. My question for you today is, what is seeking to be expressed in or through and as you out into the world? What does reaching higher look like to you in your daily life? What does that look like to you? It's kind of a vague question. I am looking at you. I'm looking at everyone. What does reaching higher? So for me, reaching higher means being grounded enough in myself that when, let me see, what does it mean for me? I guess I shouldn't ask questions I can't answer, huh? Being grounded in myself that, Well, I'm driving down to Wake Forest today, and I have to admit, I've gotten better at road rage because my car has Reverend Chris license plates on it now, and I'm very aware of that. But I can get really frustrated when people aren't driving the way that I think that they should be, right? And so to me, reaching higher is being grounded enough in knowing that divine timing is here in my drive, that I can just allow other people on the road to drive however they would like. And I can know that we are all safe and blessed in getting where we need to go. So that is what reaching higher to me this week looks like. So what does reaching higher to you look like this week? And you can come up, and I will have a microphone for you. Can I switch microphones, Ivor? Harrison, come on up.
Great thing about Reverend Chris. Is that on? Nope, not on yet. 11. Test 1, test 2. Hello, hello. Reaching higher would be have a good mic. Oh, we're on. Okay. Okay, we'll take another mic. First, you don't find your mic, find another mic.
There we go.
Great thing about Reverend Chris is that she asks hard questions. You know, you ask tough questions. So I'll come up here and stumble through my answer. I think reaching higher for me has been getting to a place of spaciousness. And what I mean by that is when I get really, it's got to be my way, you know, I contract, something happens and I, you know. But spaciousness to me is like, okay, step back, open up, and then I can say yes. I don't like it, but I have space for it. I can include it. Okay, this person is saying that to me. I don't like it, but I can include it. This is happening over here. I don't want it to happen, but I can include it. And when I can do that, instead of contracting, then I can breathe, then life can flow, and it's okay. I find it's, you know, it's going to work out. I let it work out. God's going to work it out. Life is going to work it out. And it goes back to not my will, the individual ego will, back here saying, I'm judging and commenting, but the spaciousness of God, of life, of total awareness that knows a lot more than I do. I don't know that much. So letting go, surrendering, opens me up to that bigger knowing and the flow of life. Now, if I can get there 5 out of 10 times, that's a great day. Well, thank you.
Well, and I love that idea, Harrison, because when you can expand rather than contract, then all of a sudden you're moving into a space where your consciousness is the one that's uplifting everyone's. Beautiful, thank you. Who else? What does reaching higher mean for you this week? And if you are online, if you are live streaming with us, then feel free to put your answer in the chat, and we'll put it up on the what is that? On the live stream. Okay, great. Miriam, come on up. Ooh, Karen Frost, Reverend Karen Frost from Oklahoma City says, to me, reaching higher means trusting Spirit so deeply that I live my entire life as a prayer. Beautiful, Reverend Karen, thank you. And Miriam.
Okay, I'm a fixer. Like, I'm always trying to fix people and help people, and I'm thinking, I try really hard to practice allow, and that's how sort of I feel like I need to step back and trust in the power within that person to help themselves. So I'm always thinking of those two words, practice allow, and just allowing. So have sympathy and express sympathy, but also step back and not want to take charge.
Beautiful, thank you, Miriam. Yeah, I too like to fix other people because I like to pretend that I know what's right in their life. And it's much easier, at least for me, it's much easier to see what you should be doing instead of what I should be doing, you know. Thank you. Anyone else? Going once. Oh, Stephanie.
Well, I'm reminded of what Noel McGuinness, a former minister here, said about I don't always get what I'm praying for, but I do always get what I'm praying from. So my reaching higher is being aware of where I am, where I'm coming from, so that I can make sure to calibrate what I see outside me to understand it from a perspective of what I'm feeling inside me.
That's beautiful, Stephanie. Yes, I love that. We always get where we're praying from, which is also another reason why it's important to dive down and see what it is we're praying from. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, well, in that case, I am going to switch back, playing musical microphone with Ivor just to see if he can keep up back there on the soundboard. With that, I invite us into prayer. And so if you feel comfortable, if you are not driving, if you're live streaming, go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath. And feel yourself grounding down into the earth, perhaps through your chair or through your feet on the floor. Maybe you're sitting on the floor, maybe you're even outside, but just feel yourself grounding down into the earth. And it is from this grounded and rooted place that we know and remember the truth that there is God and nothing else. That is the only thing that is going on, this one infinite absolute presence that is everlasting, everywhere, every when, everyone, everything, every experience, every interaction, every thought, every word. This one presence that is showing up as itself as all of life, as this entire planet and solar system and galaxy and universe and multiverse. It is that which is so infinite and so absolute that it is beyond the multiverse, beyond anything that we can possibly fathom, and yet it is also each and every one of us here. It is showing up and living its highest expression as humanity, as each and every individual that is in this service today. This one thing that is showing up as love and bliss and presence and prosperity and abundance and health and wholeness and light and joy and peace. That is all of that wrapped up and placed into these human forms that sit in front of me, these human forms that are out in the ethers and the internet, this human form that is me, myself. And so I just know and affirm that each and every one of us is spiraling down deeper into ourselves and discovering more and more of that infinite presence that exists as us, in us, and through us. And in doing that, we are also spiraling upwards and reaching higher into every single aspect of our lives. That each and every one of us is stepping up and showing up and uplifting the world around us simply by existing. Our very presence exudes love and light in such a way that others around us have no choice but to catch on to that love and light. And that we are able to see that there is God expressing and happening in every experience, every situation, every circumstance. That we are able to look out and know the truth of divinity no matter what. And so I just breathe that in and I express my deep and profound gratitude for this amazing, beloved community, for the willingness for each and every person to show up and do their good work, do what is ours to do as a community, individually and collectively out into the world. That each and every one of us is spiraling down into ourselves and spiraling out to reaching higher in everything that we do. And I am so grateful for each and every individual person who is here. And so I simply release my word. I let it go. I know that it is done as I have spoken because there is no other option. My word is God's word. And so it has no choice but to come to full fruition through the law. And so I can simply surrender, let go, let God release it, and say, And so it is. Lynn.
I'm going to do a tune called Just Begin. When you're feeling lost or a little blue, and the world around isn't what you used to, you were all set. Now life shakes that dream, paints an illusion. What does it all mean? Take a deep breath, now it's a start. Take a leap of faith from your weary heart. Pull out your colors from deep within. An old seed planted, now a flower blossoming. You thought the days ahead would be a little lighter. You thought your steps would have taken you farther. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Like in the night, dawn's around the corner, talking light. Help teach you to be stronger. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Don't worry what's been, just begin. The world is twirling. Can you feel the ground? Grab your courage as you spin around. The walls have crumbled. You can't lean no more. Let the light in. So many doors are opening. You thought the days ahead would be a little lighter. You thought your steps would have taken you farther. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Like in the night, dawn's around the corner, talking light. He'll teach you to be stronger. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Don't worry what's been, just begin. Pull out your colors. You might think they're dim, but only your hand can make them blend. See for yourself what's right before your eyes. It's your masterpiece with no disguises. You thought the days ahead would be a little lighter. You thought your steps would have taken you farther. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Like in the night, dawn's around the corner, talking light. He'll teach you to be stronger. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Don't worry what's been. Don't worry, look within. Don't worry where you've been, just begin.
Thank you so much, Lynn. That's one of my favorites. So I wanted to read Chris's, what he's doing this week to reach higher. He says, this week I'm reaching higher to honor all my responsibilities and be there for my family. I am going to draw on the infinite energy of spirit to help me get it all done and bring the sacred with me as I go. So thank you so much for that, Chris. That is another wonderful way that we are reaching, or that you are reaching higher this week. So this is the time in our service for our offerings and our gifts and our tithes. And just know that your mere presence in our community is a gift and an offering to us. And I am so grateful that each and every one of you are here bringing your presence and your love and your energy and your intention and your time and your talents and your treasure. All of it. All of it is a blessing, and we are so grateful for it. And so I just invite you, if you have whatever you are bringing this week, whether it is a tithe or an offering, or whether it is simply your presence in our community, I just invite you to bring all of that to your heart, and let us say our offertory affirmation together. I open my heart to give and receive the blessings that our spirits promise to me. As I do, the entire universe conspires to give me an abundant life, and I open to accept it. And so it is.
To you I give, together we share, and by this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and by this we live.
So let's take a moment to bless all the offerings right now, just knowing that it is all a form of God. It's all energy, it's all circulation. So we gratefully accept and know that what has been given is multiplied as it comes together in good purpose and good faith. So I know that all gifts are received well, and that it is Spirit's great thanks and appreciation and gratitude for everyone giving from their place of deep heart and deep knowing. So with this, I just know that God is through it all, each and every one of us giving today. So thank you, Spirit. Thank you all. And so it is.
Okay, so for this closing song, this is called Peace State, and it's by Nancy Vedette and Nur Felice.
Hold on, love is on its way. Hold on, just another day. If we let the fire burn high, illuminate our whole life, the love we shine will never die. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. Freedom isn't far away. Freedom, we're the ones to say. Rise up and sing against hate. Why don't we make a peace date? A sacred bond that'll never break. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness. Light in the darkness is who we are. It's time to open our eyes and realize we're all human, the essence of love. We're all chosen for this path, this life, this road, the truth spoken. Don't wait, let's make a peace date. You and I are light in the darkness, light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness, light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness, light in the darkness is who we are. You and I are light in the darkness, light in the darkness is who we are. It's who we are. It's who we are.
And so I just send us out into the world to light up the darkness, to reach higher, and to dive deeper within ourselves. And so it is.